Te Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadadi Swapatadikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghuradhanidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sapadodam Parijalasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishadali Namsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kandara Moste Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudhe Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhave Evacha Patidana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's start with Sloka 6.24. Okay, attaining perfection in Ashtanga Yoga, realizing the Super Soul. So let's see the link to the previous section. It says, in the previous section, Lord Krishna describes the perfectional stage of meditation, Yoga Rudha. In this section, Krishna describes a method to attain that perfectional stage, that is realizing the Super Soul. So 24 to 25 explains the method to attain the perfectional stage, that is Yoga Rudha. So what are the qualifications which is needed, or what are the process, how you can attain that stage? So that is 6.24, which says Sanishchena Yoktavyo Yoga Anirvinna Chetasa Sankalpa Prabhavan Kamam Tektva Sarvan Asheshataha Manasevendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantata. So here it is said, patience, practice of Yoga Rudha stage, we need patience a lot. Right? Who knows that sloka from Nectar of Instruction? Does anyone know the sloka? You can raise your digital hand. What is that sloka? That we need patience. Yes, Chitra Mataji.
Utsaha Dhairya, Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya.
Yeah.
Tattat Karma Pravartanat. That is it, right, Mataji? Next is about Sangatyaga.
Then you don't know the full thing?
Sangatyaga Satovrata Shadbir Bhakti Pradishyati.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So these are the 6 things which will develop our bhakti, or which will encourage our bhakti, right? Ulsaha. So Prabhupada have quoted in the purport, you can see Ulsaha Nishya Dhairya Tattat Karma Pravartana Jana Sangatyaga Sado Vritti Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhyati. So Utsaha, that's patience. We need a lot of patience in devotional service. Not like in few days I can become pure devotees. No. We need a lot of patience. Slow, it will come. Ulsaha. Nishya, you should be confident that this process will work. And Dhairya, you should have so much determination. And then Tattat Karma Pravartana, you should do all your devotional services well. Sangatyaga, you should give up the association of non-devotees. Sato Vritti, you should follow the footsteps of pure devotees. Then Shadbir Bhakti, these 6 things will develop our bhakti. You can see Upadeshamrita verse 3 quoted by Srila Prabhupada. One can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full enthusiasm, perseverance, determination by following the prescribed duties in association of devotees and by engaging completely in the activities of goodness. And determination, that's also needed. What is the story of Garuda and the sparrow? Who knows? What is that story Prabhupada mentions here? Who else know except Pramadaji? Nobody is reading. Yeah, Ganeshan Prabhu. What's the story, Prabhu?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
so, the sparrow, yeah, eggs are washed away in the ocean. So the sparrow tries to somehow find the eggs, and somehow the ocean does not agree, then it starts to do by itself and starts to take drop by drop, drop by drop. Then this news passes to Garuda. Then Garuda, the Mahavishnu's, what do you say? And I'm searching for the word. No, yeah, carrier. And immediately Garuda comes and tells the ocean to return back the eggs, and ultimately the sparrow gets back the egg. So whatever may be the thing, no, once the devotee has unshakable faith, then if he puts the efforts, then Lord will do his rest. That is the understanding of this. Hare Krishna.
Yes, very good. So yes, so that is the story of the sparrow and Garuda. So we know once it lays egg, and then the determination. And Prabhupada mentions after that, similarly, one should be so determined, in doing devotional service under the guidance of devotees, association of devotees. And then, like Garuda is a devotee of the Lord. No, when Garuda assisted sparrow, the sparrow was successful. So similarly, it looks difficult, for a sparrow to empty the ocean. But then, if pure devotees help us, or like Srila Prabhupada is with us to guide, then it's possible. So without deviation, you should be having one point attention, not deviating. And faith, be confident and pursue the path with great perseverance. So yes, faith is there, right? What are the 9 steps in devotional service? Steps, not stages. I mean, not types of devotional service, stages or steps of devotional service. Yes. Adish Prabhu. Can you unmute?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Ananta Nidvriti, Nishta, Ruchi, Bhava, Prema.
Okay. Did you say Asakti? Asakti, Bhava, Prema. Okay. So first is Shraddha. So faith. Faith is very important, right? How much faith do we have in Krishna? So that is what is very important, right? Faith or confidence. When Krishna says, Name Bhakta Pranashiri, my devotees will never perish. Do we have real faith in it? No, Yoga Kshema Mahamiham. Do we have faith in it? We have. So it is said, what is it? Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmanya Vaishnave. Swalpa Punyavadan Rajan Vishwasa Naiva Jayava. So Vishwasa, the faith is required in all these 5 things. What is it? Mahaprasade, this Prasad. Then Mahaprasade Govinda, Krishna. Then Nama, Harinam, then Brahmana and Vaishnava. So to have faith in this, it's not easy. The Salpa Punyavadanda, you should have that Sukriti is to have faith in these. So faith is very important. And then controlling the senses by mind, then give up all material desires, born of material concoction. So we can't completely give up desire, we need to purify the desire. Then intelligence sustained by full conviction, mind fixed in oneself, not thinking of anything else. So Krishna Padaravinda, and step by step one is achieve success. So conclusion is that we cannot succeed without blessing. Still, we have to show our sincerity by making a determined effort. So blessings or the mercy is required to be successful in devotional service or anything. Okay, so we'll have a small breakout room. Explain reference to BG 6.2 for verse and purport. Appropriate and inappropriate application of the well-known expression, God helps those who help themselves. Now that's that story. Also discuss its relevance for your own life as a practice in devotee. So which aspect should you discuss here? Which is the aspect you should discuss here?
Determination, Mother.
What is it? Like, what application is this? There are 2, no? 2 applications.
Faith and determination.
Yeah, but this question is generally based on what? Personal application. There are 2 things, personal and preaching application. The question can come based on only these 2. Either you write your personal application, how it is relevant in your life as a practicing devotee, or can be a preaching application. Like last time we found out some verses from some chapters to preach, 4th chapter, like that. So here I'll just put this question in the chat and then have a breakout room. And just have a breakout room and please discuss based on verse 2.2. 6.24. Okay, you have to explain with reference to the verse 6.24. God helps themselves, help those who help themselves. And how is it applicable in your life? So I need to get here some answers related to your personal life, not anyone's. You will discuss in the group, but when you tell the answer, don't tell we. No, I. So decide who's going to speak, and that person have to tell. The others can discuss their own personal examples, but the person who's speaking, you see who's speaking the best in the group, and then tell that person to speak in the class. Okay, done. Yeah, so we'll have some 10 minutes breakout room. Got the question now? Please copy from the chat, and then you go to the breakout room. You can paste it in that chat box. This is personal application. Okay. Miss Hare Krishna. So who's ready now?
Hare Krishna.
From room number
Hare
1,
Krishna,
Adish
Mataji.
Prabhu, Chitra Mataji, Jodrekshma Mataji, Madhuri Mataji, and Sandosh Prabhu. So who's ready from room number 1?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Chitra Mataji. Okay.
Mataji, determination is getting up early in the morning, chanting and finishing the rounds in the morning, and having the whole day for the other services. When we talk about personally, Mataji, when the COVID started, because I always used to wake up always at 4 o'clock only and attend the Mangalarti of Mayapur for the past so many days, which I am doing it with the Mangalore temple now. But when the COVID started also, Mataji, that is how we all connected with the classes, etc., everything. So the determination of getting up at the same time and doing all the, now the new thing what has happened is we chant with the ISKCON temple only, Mataji, morning before the Guru Aarti is over, chanting is over. And we have the whole day for doing Krishna service, Mataji. Earlier, morning prasadam, afternoon prasadam, night prasadam was, I was not at least doing very regularly. Sometimes only fruit, and if I have to cook only, if I'm not able to or not, there's no need for cook for ourselves. I used to keep, offer only fruits, but now, no, not at all, Mataji. I am determined. I have, even if I have to make only for the Lord, I will make little and offer Boga all 3 times. And plus extra rounds, I have started getting time, Mataji. Because at least minimum 25 we are able to reach because of the early morning chanting and Mangalarti and Tulsi Arti. So I am really determined I need to attend. And especially most of the time I see you singing Tulsi Arti, Mataji. I feel so motivated early in the morning. Mataji comes and most of the time you are there and you take class till 9 o'clock. Sometimes when Amnisha Prabhu was not available there, I have seen you taking classes. And really, Mataji, it is, determination means all the devotees also told they all are attending and they have determined to continue this, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. From room number 2, Chinnaswamy Ganeshan Prabhu, Gurnath Prabhu, Ganeshan Prabhu, Venaja Mataji, Samita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, this is a personal experience. God helps those who help themselves. No, actually, after coming into similarly the COVID situation, during it was a very tough time. The small business got hit. But that was the time I got the opportunity to come into Krishna consciousness, and I was continuously attending all the classes, and it was a very tough time because nothing was happening, everything got stuck, and most importantly, to get over the anxiety of how I am going to overcome all these things, how the future is going to be, and all these things always used to play. It is like trauma, night sleeps, and very difficult to get into sleep, and how I am going to overcome all these things. Without this, I would not be able to have overcome all these things. I am very fortunate because I got into this and I was very consistent. And by that time also, I remember I was infected with COVID, and I didn't get place anywhere in any of the places to get admitted and isolate myself. And finally, I got isolated myself in my home, and I was very severely infected. And by that time only, I was attending all the classes, and I was attending all the Bhakti Vriksha classes, and I was attending all the presentations. I was doing whatever best I could do. I was chanting there because there was a little bit of fear inside me, because I have so many things are happening around me, and now I realize that because I was able to, and I can understand that I received help from absolute mercy of the Lord, and this is what I understand from this, because I was nothing, and now I can realize and understand when I do more of these things, and very consistently with perseverance, definitely there is the Supreme Personality behind me to support me and get over all these things. So this is what I realized.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, the first room, I could not see this point mentioned. It was all about determination. But then this point, like God help those who help themselves, that point was kind of missing. But then the second group, I was waiting for that, and Ganeshan Prabhu covered it by saying that yes, Krishna gave the mercy. But still more, we could have just said that more than Krishna, it's actually Guru who actually guides us. It's Srila Prabhupada's mercy coming, right? So yes, the mercy of Krishna only it's coming, but it's coming through the Guru Parampara. We can't directly, offer a bhog to Krishna. As we were saying about offering the bhog. So we can't directly jump over the Guru Parampara and offer. Krishna won't accept it. Who are we? We are not pure devotees to offer. So it goes through the parampara. Our Guru accepts, Guru gives to his Guru, his Guru, his Guru, through the parampara it goes. That's why in Bhog offering mantra, we chant our Guru's mantra and then goes to Krishna. That the mercy is coming from Krishna definitely, right? And the mercy we receive through our Guru. Okay, we can receive only through our Guru. So yes, God helps those who help themselves. God is helping you. That's why he come outside as Chaitya Guru. Like some are getting initiated. So why is Krishna helping? Because you're serious in Krishna consciousness, Krishna in your heart as Chaitya Guru. He himself is helping you, right? Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayandite. Tesham sadadi yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayandite. So if you do bhajan, if you do devotional service, Krishna will give you the intelligence by which you can go to him. And Tesham evanu kampartam aham ajnana jam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhashvada. So the Chaturshloki Gita 10 point, now this is 10.10 and 10.11. So what does it say? That because of the costless mercy of your devotee, we get jnana. So God is, you are helping yourself, right, to elevate yourself to spiritual consciousness. So Krishna helps you through Guru, right? So Prabhupada mentions in one lecture, Krishna helps from within as Chaitya Guru, from without or outside as your Diksha Guru or your Shiksha Guru. So that's how the help comes. So very nice. Happy to know that you're doing personal application. I was happy to say that you were using I. So when you write the exam, like open book question also, if some personal application, how is it relevant in your life? Then you have to mention I and write your experience. They will see that whether you have done a personal application. This is personal application. Right? I like a practicing devotee as a sadhaka. How is that helping you? So we should help ourselves. Like, then Krishna can help you. Or else just sitting, oh, Krishna's mercy will flow to me. No, that's not the thing, no. Yashoda Maya, she already got Krishna as a son, but still she was running behind Krishna to capture him and churning butter for him. So much service she was doing, right? Even though she got Krishna as her own son, still she was doing devotional service. So that's what we should do. Okay, so rest of the rooms, like we have not much time, so we'll just go through it. So 24 to 25, methods of attaining perfectional stage. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions quote verses from Upadeshamrita. We have already mentioned this. Utsaha nishya dhairya tat karma pravartana jana sangasya sangatyagasare vritti shaddhir bhakti prasiddhyati. Right, this we finished. So God help those who help themselves. So this is what our breakout room discussion was. So Prabhupada concludes by saying, similarly, the practice of yoga, Bhakti yoga, it looks very difficult. Right? It looks very difficult, but if we follow the principles with great determination, then Lord will surely help, right? He will definitely help us. And in conclusion, we cannot succeed without blessings. Still, we have to show our sincerity by making a determined effort. So Prabhupada says, show to Krishna how sincere you are. And pratyahara, by proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease the sense activities. That is called pratyahara. So pratyahara, okay. And samadhi, it implies how to fix the mind in self alone. How one can come to the stage of conviction, meditation, and cessation of senses. Now this we should know. So how we can do? By controlling our senses through Bhakti yoga. So Krishna consciousness directly fulfills the criteria of samadhi. Srila Prabhupada writes, although one is involved with matter, as long as material body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. One should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of Supreme Self. This state is easily attained by directly practicing Krishna consciousness. So the sloka is Sane Saner Uparam Mer Buddhya Dhruti Grihitaya Atma Samstam Mana Krutva Nakinshit Apichintayet. Step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. Is that possible? Like not to think of anything? No, mind Empty mind is devil's workshop. We need something. What is that? Krishna, right? By practicing that, that's called pure Krishna consciousness. Like an Uttama Adhikari just doesn't think about his sense gratification. He thinks about Krishna's sense gratification, right? And then it said, mind is flickering in the next sloka, 26. Yato yadi nishalati manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyat atmani eva vasam nayet. From wherever the mind wanders due to flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. This is what we should do during japa. When the mind goes somewhere, try to bring it back, right? Withdraw it and bring it back. You should bring your back to mind. So you're chanting, and then sometimes you say, oh, how many people have on the videos? So most of the time say, oh, this person have on the video, this person have on the video. And you're like, what are you doing? Just come back to the japa. And then don't do radar japa, just going and looking at everyone. No. Where is Namani Shipu? Oh, you didn't come today or that. No, don't do that. Sit and close your eyes and try to chant. If you feel sleepy, don't do that. Then try to wash your face and all. And then that's a clear, nice japa. When you close your eyes and concentrate on the mantra. But still, the mind will go. Mataji will say, what breakfast will I make? Oh, that is over. This is over. And yesterday I had that, this. And Prabhu's like, an office, what should do? So the mind will go here and there. What's the time? And Bhagavatam class and that. But then try to bring it back. Try to bring it back on japa. So this is what it said. Chanchalam. Chanchalam means flickering. Flickering and unsteady. Nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady. So one should control the mind. That's called a Goswami, right? And who is controlled by the mind is called Godasa. Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. So Goswami means who can control the mind, and who is controlled by the mind is Godasa. So transcendental sense happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesha. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Rucham. Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam Tatparakvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruttama. So you should use the senses to serve the master of senses. And Prabhupada explains about Krishna consciousness. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing the sense under full control. That's the highest perfection of yoga practice. So what should we do? Definitely the mind is chanchala, but then by using it in Krishna service by the senses, then finally we can attain that stage of controlling the mind. Prashanta manasam hi enam yoginam sukam uttamam upaiti shanta rajasram brahma bhudam akalmasham. So what is Brahmabhuta platform? The state of being free from material contamination and seated in transcendental service. Brahmabhuta prasanna kana shochatina kankshiti sama sarveshu bhudeshu matvatim lapade param. So Brahmabhuta state is that they are free from material contamination and is situated in transcendental service of the Lord. Okay, so that's why a pure devotee is always liberated. Srila Prabhupada was already liberated. Why? Because he was in a Brahmabhuta platform. So such a yogi is peaceful, prashanta manasam, attains supreme bliss, shanta, and become free from sin and realizes his qualitative identity with Brahman. How to become fixed in the quality of Brahman? By fixing one's mind on the lotus feet of Lord. Savayamana Krishna Padaravinda. So two benefits of always engaging in transcendental loving services: to be liberated from the mode of passion and freedom from all material contamination. So two things will happen. When you do Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam, two things. What happens? Sarva Upadhi Vinirmukta. All your material contaminations will go away, and Tak Paratvena Nirmalam. Your senses will get purified. So two things will happen, okay, when we do it. So that's a stage called Brahmabhuta stage. So Prabhupada explains a purport he gives. In 28, he says, Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashmute. Thus, the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in yoga practice, become free from all material contaminations and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, yeah, that's called the highest stage, being in constant touch with the Supreme. Self-realization, defined as knowing one's constitutional position in relationship with the Supreme. So, what's our constitutional position? We are part and parcel of the Supreme. Which is that sloka? Does anyone know? Which Krishna says the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme. Yes, Sharmila Mataji.
Mamayvamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manashashtanindriyani prakristani karshati.
Very well. Yes. So mameva amsha jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. Mama amsha. So we are part and parcel of the Supreme. Krishna mentions that. right? I heard one nice lecture of Srila Prabhupada. I like to quote here. So once what happened, all the senses, they had a meeting, okay? Senses, the eyes, nose, mouth, then hands, they all had a meeting, general body meeting. So they all went for the meeting. And the main discussion was Rajalpa, they were gossiping. About whom? They were complaining about the stomach. The senses were like, the hands are like, oh, I do a lot of hard work. I cook, I cut the vegetables, I cook, I take the food and give it to the mouth. And the mouth is like, I am also doing a lot of work. I'm chewing, and with saliva, I'm doing a lot of work. Tongue is also saying I'm doing a lot of work. And all the senses started complaining. Then what happens? What was the complaint? The stomach, he's not doing anything. He's a lazy person, right? He just have to sit there and the food just goes into the stomach and he doesn't have to do any work. This is not possible. So what we'll do? We'll go for a strike. So from next day onwards, all the senses, hands and mouth and everyone went for a strike. Nobody cooked anything or nobody chewed or nothing happened. Okay, they didn't work. Then what happened? 1 day over, 2 days over, third day, the senses started becoming weak and weak and weak. The hands could not move. There was hypoglycemia and the mouth was drying up. And so much, they were becoming weak and weak. And again, they had a meeting. Another next day, they had a meeting again. Like, how are we becoming weak? We are going for strike so that the stomach suffer and we are suffering. Why this is happening? And then one intelligent person was there. Then he said, because the stomach is digesting the food and giving nutrients to all of you. It supplies all of you. No? And then, so stomach is also working. And then you are thinking the stomach is not working. So you think the stomach is sitting there and just you're serving. But that is the purpose. No. You water the root of the tree, the whole tree gets nourished. You put food to the stomach, the whole body gets nourished. So you worship Krishna, then everything else is taken care. So I just remembered when it was said about the senses, how the senses should be used in Krishna's service. And as part and parcel, we should not strike. So the senses are part and parcel of the body. What is the use of the senses? To serve the body. If they will go for a strike, the body suffers. No? Everyone suffers. So similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna. If we don't serve Krishna, then we suffer. Right? We definitely suffer. So we get captured by Maya. So Prabhupada was mentioning that. Okay, so we are part and parcel of the Supreme, and our constitutional position is to render loving service to the Lord. That's our position. If we are not serving Krishna, then or not remembering Krishna, we are like madman. Because you ask a madman, who's your father, who's your mother, he can't remember. No, they can't remember. Like if you're really mad, you can't remember. And they just, talk nonsense things and not related things. So many things they speak. So similarly, if you can't remember your Supreme Father, who's Krishna, then we are also mad, no? We are also kind of mad. So Prabhupada says, those who can't remember the Father, they are called as mad. So we should do transcendental loving service to the Lord. This transcendental contact with the Supreme is called Brahma Samsparsha. When you chant Hare Krishna, you are in direct contact with the Lord. So we'll stop with one more sloka. Sarvabhuta Sarvabhutastam Sarvabhunani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshana. A true yogi observes me in all beings, that is Paramatma, and also see every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. Okay, so Krishna is in a heart as Paramatma and sees Krishna's presence as Super Soul in everyone's heart, right? Who is that? Which is that sloka related to this? Seeing Krishna in everyone's heart and seeing everyone equally. What is that sloka? You are Bhakti Shastri students. Bhakti Shastris means Pandita. Chitra Mataji.
Mataji, full sloka, I don't know, Hare Krishna. Samaga Sarveshu Bhuteshu.
Sunita Mataji, that is by Krishna. Krishna sees everyone equal. No, Sama Sarveshu.
Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Vidya Vinay Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Pandita Shuni Chaiva Shopake Chena, Brahmane
Pandita Samadarshina. Yeah. What Mataji said was another one, right? Bhaktim Labade Param. Brahma Buddha Prasannatma Nashochudina Kakshadi Samas Sarvesha Budesha Bhakti Labade Param. Now that is who we get devotional service. This is seeing Paramatma in everyone's heart and respecting everyone equally, right? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Svapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. Pandit will see everyone equal. Why? Because he can see the super soul in everyone's heart. So Krishna conscious yogi is a perfect seer. He sees Krishna, the supreme, in everyone's heart as super soul. Thus, he appreciates the supreme neutrality of the Lord. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshatchira Tishtati Ramayan Sarva Bhutani Yandra Rodani Maya. The supreme neutrality of the Lord is the same Lord as Paramatma feature situated in the heart of a dog and that of a Brahmana. So that's what a pure devotee sees. And same Lord is present in the heart of both a believer and a non-believer. Even non-devotees have the Lord has Paramatma in their heart, but they don't realize. The analogy to explain the neutralities as a mother is neutral to all different kinds of children. The supreme father or the mother is also neutral, right? He is neutral to everyone. That's what Mataji said. Yeah, Sama Sarveshu Bhudeshu, seeing everyone equally good. So Lord is eternally transcendental and not materially affected by his presence in the heart of a dog or a Brahmana. It doesn't affect him. He's aloof, right? So distinction between individual soul and super soul is individual is situated in the individual heart and the super soul is present in all the heart. What is the analogy? What's the analogy? Ganeshan Prabhu, you need to post the attendance form only once, Prabhu. Don't post again and again, okay? Just once is enough. Yeah, Santosh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Analogy is a person owning a piece of land and a king owning the entire.
Yes. Yes. And a citizen holding a piece of land knows only about that land. And who knows about everyone's land? Oh, you got muted. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, and the king knows the entire kingdom. He is the owner of the entire kingdom and knows.
Very good. Yeah. So he knows about the whole kingdom. So similarly, super soul knows about everyone's body because he is present in everyone's heart, and individual soul is present only in the individual body. So Vaishnava equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness. Yogi sees equally, but he sees all living entities, although in different situations, according to the result of fruity work, in all circumstances remain as a servant of God. And in material external energy, one serves the material senses. In spiritual energy, one serves the Supreme Lord directly. So benefit of having that vision is one never loses the sight of the Supreme Lord and never falls from the path of yoga. Right? So Krishna says that Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. So Yo me pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. You can mark that sloka. It's a nice sloka to learn. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. Okay, one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. I'm never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So Prabhupada quotes the Brahma Samhita there. Premanjana chirita bhakti vilochanena sanda sataiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Krishna consciousness is developing of love for Krishna. Premanjana churida, with love of God, love of the ointment of love, we should smear the eyes to see the Lord, right? So Krishna conscious person certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere and he sees everything in Krishna. The basic principle is nothing can exist without Krishna. Krishna is the Lord of everything. Sees Lord Krishna everywhere, right? Because he's Paramatma and he's also Andandarastha Paramanu Chayandarastam. He's in the atom. His energy is all over. All over. And he sees everything in Krishna because he is the supreme whole, right? Everything is in his body. So like that. So Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. What a pure devotee sees, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. Stavara jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra dekhe nija ishta deva spurti. Stavara jangama dekhe na dekhe. So he doesn't see moving or not moving. He sees his ishta deva spurti, his supreme Lord in everywhere, right? Like rasoham apsukamteya. You know the taste of water is Krishna. How many of you remembered Krishna when you drink water? You don't know. Chitra Mataji, you're very elevated devotee, right? Because only if you have a nice consciousness will you remember Krishna at the time of drinking water. You see sun and moon, how many of us remembered Krishna when we see? So it's very rare we remember all the time. But Srila Prabhupada was not like that. Naturally, he could see Krishna all over. Is a position transcendental even to material liberation. an intimate relationship with the God and the devotees exist. In that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of devotee. So the devotee always sees Krishna in his everywhere. So we'll stop with 30. 30 is continued. Okay, and then it says to merge in Krishna in spiritual annihilation, devotee takes no such risk. Can you put in the chat what is that mukti called as? To merge in the spiritual effulgence. In Krishna consciousness, the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee. And the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. He cannot live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. Now that's the idea. Not just merging, right? What is that merging called? Sayuja Mukti, right? Yeah, which is for the demons or Mayavadis. Okay, we'll start with 31 tomorrow. Next week. We'll stop here. And many have requested because they want to attend the Chaitanya Charitamrita class at 8:15 to wind up fast. I'm planning to start little early, if that is okay. Last week, I was held up with IDC batch. Then this week, I had one meeting with some initiation devotees. So I was like little packed. But then can I, is that okay for all of you to start around 6:45 so that we can wind up at 8:15? And because many wanted to attend the Chaitanya Charitamrita class. How do I know? Wait 1 second. Can you raise your digital hand if you're okay with 6:45? Or is it like someone go for a work, then you can't come back? Okay. So almost half of the class says yes. So let's start at, try to start early and then wind up early. Because many wanted to attend the Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Fine. Someone have a question? Yes, Chitra Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, that shloka number 27 slide, can you please share, Mataji? Somehow I didn't know one word, I could not catch over there.
But your voice is not clear. What, 20?
27, Mataji, 27.
What is it?
The two things which, that output of the shloka, two things you said. Point number 1 and 2. Second, I couldn't hear, Mataji.
Let me go back to the slide.
27. Sorry, Mataji. Actually, audio is having some problem.
Okay. This one? This one?
Next one. Yes,
we become liberated. This one, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, we become liberated from the modes of passion and becomes freed from all material contamination. Right. The two things that happen when you engage in transcendental loving services. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. All the material contaminations gets washed away and the senses become purified. Okay. That's a sloka from a nectar of devotion. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti. You need to learn nectar of devotion slokas when you come to NOD class in Bhakti Shastri to start learning. It's nice to quote. Yes, Ganeshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, yes, Mataji. I posted once. Then I received a message from Gunasri Mataji. Only 13 people have filled the attendance form out of 21.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
So that's why it was posted.
No, Prabhu said once that you post the form only once. Might be not in the beginning of the class. Keep changing the timing so that people don't fill it and leave. So, and he said to post it only once. That's right.
Okay, Mataji. Today, okay, fine.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Yeah, Santosh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Other day, my son asked me one question, which I thought I'll just ask with you. He was attending.
Children's questions are very dangerous, bro.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, what was it?
Now, he was asking me, Papa, we do these sinful activities and Yamadutas will take us and punish us in different hells. Okay, then why again we have karmas? We say whatever situation we are going through now, it is our karma of misdeeds. So he says already we have been punished. Now again, why we should face those things?
He's very intelligent. Why? Very nice question. So what happens, Prabhu? Like all the karma gets nullified. But there is punya, no? Punya does it, the hell, when you go to hell, just imagine you have 25% punya and 75% papa. So you go to hell. No, that 70%, 5% papa gets means because we are suffering and we are getting punishment. The 75% papa is gone, but then 25% punya is remaining now. Prabhu, where is he? Is there? Okay. No, it's remaining. No.
Yes, Mataji.
So to enjoy that 25% karma, punya, we take rebirth. We come to earth. While enjoying the 25% punya, we again do sin. And then again, the whole story repeats. So you should take to Krishna consciousness. Then everything gets crushed. Punya, papa, everything. You got it? That's human nature. When you enjoy, you again do karma, again we suffer. That's prarabdha karma and aprarabdha. So whatever we sin we do in this life, we suffer. In this life, that's prarabdha, and whatever is in the bija form is aprarabdha. So that's it, Prabhu. That's the real reason. Reddy, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji. After hearing this question, I had, one more doubt, extending this question further. If somebody has already got punished for their sins, like prarabdha karma, there is a thing called prarabdha karma. When they are born, they are born with that karma. Prarabdha karma is not a good one. It's, it could be a bad one also, like people taking birth in most abominable conditions or in deformed conditions. So they're coming with bad karma also, Mataji. That's my feeling.
So what was the question you were adding?
What I'm saying is probably all that sin, whatever is there, it's not vanquished in the hell when they are punished.
Yeah. Because not everyone is going to hellish planet, no problem. That person who is born with a prarabdha karma would have go to an heavenly planet and come. We don't know. So yes, as you said, all the sins are not completely getting crushed in sin in hellish planets. Might be something is left which we have to really suffer, because in hell also there is a limit of all the sufferings we can have. So more sin we have done, definitely, as you said, we are born with prarabdha karma. That's true. And might be that another possibility is he may not have gone, that soul may not have gone to the hell at all, would have gone to heavenly planets and taken a rebirth, or didn't go to heavenly planets and hellish planets, took rebirth in earth only again. So he can be born with the prarabdha karma, no? That's possible. This law of karma is very, very confusing, and we are nobody to challenge it. Once I asked a question, Damanishta Prabhu, and Prabhu was like, "You're challenging the law of karma?" I'm like, "No, Prabhu." So then it's up to Krishna to decide. But yes, Prabhu, like those who are born with prarabdha karma, like cancer and so many things, and as you said, in abominable families, yes, there are a lot of prarabdha karmas coming with them, but we don't know where that soul has come from. Might be taken a rebirth again in earth itself, or might have gone to heaven and come. So we don't know, no? We really don't know. But possibility, yes. If you read Bhagavatam, you know, for different sin, there are different hellish planets, hellish conditions and the sufferings. When you hear that, you'll be like half dead. So much. But then if you take to Krishna consciousness, aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami, Mashita Krishna says, he takes care of all the karma. It could be the karma in the earlier birth, yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna. So Smita Madhiji, if your shift ends at 7 p.m., no problem. You join. Maybe you can, the first 15 minutes recording you can see in the YouTube or something, so that we can join Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Okay, even I like that. It's nice to hear from Prabhu. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Can end here. Panchakalpadurvasya kripasundadeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavi panamanam kodi vaishnavi ki jai. Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.